What's here, y'all? Let's take a look at the Florida Derby, and then we'll grade out the contenders afterwards.
Now, the 74th
And I think you guys know the players at this point, so no need to repeat them.
And
you see, everybody got away pretty well, with the exception of the 4-horse, named Disruptor. And taken right to the back there, just kind of hopped a little bit. Didn't seem like it impeded him that much, but apparently so, because went right to the back. Matic Road was keen to get going, and that wasn't a surprise. I was a little surprised that Neo Equos didn't go right with him, but turned out to be the smart move. See, Indecisiveness was probably the only of the also rans, probably the only one who actually ran what I consider to be a decent race. The rest of them, really, other than the prime players, really weren't a factor.
He's 3 better than the team of Tapan Street, who's racing together with Jimmy's Dailies. They're about 6 lengths off the speed. Smokin' Boy is next. Sovereignty's making steady progress here.
You see Tapan Street a little more forwardly engaged than he was in the Holy Bull. And just in a perfect position. And you see Sovereignty right up behind him. Not quite as far back as initially I thought he was. And in that regard, it kind of makes what Tapan Street did all the more impressive, because Sovereignty basically ran his race and engaged a little earlier. And you see Disruptor trying to make a move, but other than those 5, I mean, really, nobody else factored. And we thought Matic Road would give way, and he did. And you see Neo Equos keeping on really well. But Tappan Street was definitely the best horse today. So let's grade him out.
Third is Neo Equos. 4th is Matic Road. Disruptors up 5th for the high 5 in 149. And on.
So now let's grade him out. Neo Equos, I thought, ran a good race, a very good race. He got a good third, like he did in the Fountain of Youth. I think he was wise not to go up and challenge Matic Road, kind of let him flame out, and that's exactly what we thought would happen, and that's what happened. This is a good horse. I don't think he's a 1.25 mile horse, and if he does get into the Derby, which is remote at this point, he'd be a toss for me. But I think this horse has quality, and being so lightly raced and being competitive in 2 graded stakes races, I think speaks to his quality. So around 1 turn or just shorter distances, he's a horse to keep an eye on, probably maybe even the Pate Mile. Cool Intentions and Smokin' Boy, that's a double F. They didn't do any running at all, didn't factor in the race whatsoever. You can say the same for Enter the Dragon. He didn't do any running at all. They were never involved whatsoever, so that's an easy F. They probably shouldn't have been in the race to begin with. Disruptor gets a C-, and really more than anything, it's because it was his first effort around 2 turns. The break really killed him. He just never got involved in the race. He hopped, and as you saw, he was taken right to the extreme rear, and made a little bit of an effort late, but it was certainly no factor at all. And just not the race that was anticipated from him. Maybe he's capable of better. I'm not overly certain. I am not as impressed with this horse as others have been. These micropolies, he just throws them into these stakes races after a maiden score year after year after year. So after a while, you just kind of expect them to flame out, because most of the time they do. My mind frame was like the only one who didn't. So anyway, he gets a C-, and maybe he'll be better down the line. But right now, he's off the Derby trail, I think, for sure. Indecisiveness, I'm going to give a gentleman C, because at least he tried. He did rate up amongst Matic Road and Neo Equos, and he tried to run his race. He just wasn't good enough. That's the bottom line. But at least he tried to run his race and make an effort. So for that, he gets a gentleman C. Jimmy's Dailies gets a D, mainly because he actually, he was mid-pack with Sovereignty for a little while there. He was no factor in the race, but, again, he tried. He didn't just sit all the way at the back and maybe try to suck up for a 4th or a 3rd. So a little bit of an effort there. Manicat Road ran actually better than I thought he would. I thought he would be done at 6 furlongs. I really did. Um, I was a little surprised they didn't try to rate him, but he did go to the lead, and did all the heavy lifting for the majority of the race, and still hung on for fourth. So I mean, like I've said before, this horse does have quality. I thought they would have tried to rate him in this race, but they try to take advantage of the track. But I think he had a fair amount taken out of him after the Rebel Stakes. But I thought it was a solid effort. So he gets a C plus. Tappan to Pan Street, without a doubt, gets an A. Excellent race. He's certainly improved from the Holy Bull. Brad Cox giving him the time off was definitely the ticket. He trained very well, and he ran an excellent race. I think he really, to me, becomes a major player primarily because of his running style. Being up amongst the leaders is a good place to be. It has proven as such over the years, the last few derbies. And I really liked what I saw. If he takes another jump, he's going to be very dangerous in the Derby. Sovereignty gets a B+. I thought he ran his race. Just Tappan Street tactically was a little better than he was. I don't think he lost anything whatsoever. I don't think he was necessarily cranked up all the way. I just think he ran his race. But you have to note, for that last 16th of a mile, his stride was really starting to lengthen. And I think once he gets into a mile and a quarter, he is going to be very, very tough to beat. I think he was a little more engaged in the race than he had been in the Fountain of Youth, and I consider that to be a good sign as well. And one thing that we know about Bill Mott is on the big days, the horses run the best that they can. And so you're going to get that premium effort on Derby Day without a doubt. And if that's the case, Sovereignty is going to be very difficult to beat. So there it is. There's the Florida Derby. I thought it was a pretty predictable race. It kind of was run pretty much the way we expected. I just couldn't get off Sovereignty. I mean, I just really like that horse, and I don't think he did anything to raise any red flags or any cause for concern. He's going to be fine for the Derby, without a doubt. He is one of the top two still. But I'll tell you, Tappan Street was very impressive, and I think they've got to really watch out for him especially because of his running style. And he's a little closer to the pace than Journalism or Sovereignty is. So, and I think he's dangerous. I'll just give you that. I hope our analysis helps you with your own formulation and your own assessment of the race itself. And certainly if you do like content like this, please like and subscribe. And again, thanks so much. All of you keep growing this community. I'm loving it, loving the comments. It's become a real pleasure. Not that it hasn't been all along, but I'm really enjoying this so far. This Derby Trail has been a really neat one. This is our third one, and this has been the most fun so far, without a doubt. So thank you for that. We are going to have a lot of content this week. We will have an analysis of the Arkansas Derby. We will have individual postings for the Bluegrass, the Wood Memorial, as well as the Santa Anita Derby. Likely a sequence for Keeneland, who starts up their spring meet this weekend. And we will have probably the full card for Keeneland with best bets and value plays as well. So lots of content to come, so stay tuned for that. So that's it from here. I'll talk to you soon, and until then, be well.